Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Aho here with KissAnalog.com and with one of my two Ampzilla amplifiers. You guys ever seen one of these? Pretty cool, huh? Big display. I mean, it's a beast. I put this on top because the top is kind of nasty. It's in storage for a long time. Short story, my storage was broken into. I lost 20 some odd thousand dollars worth of hi-fi equipment. All my super nice audio stuff. I moved out of town, put everything in storage, moved back in town, had a little one, so didn't, wanted to keep it safe. When I went to get it out, it was gone. So yeah, actually, the storage guy called me and said the lock was not there, so I went to check it out and stuff was gone. But my two Ampzillas were still there. I think they were buried somewhere else. I had a stack of stuff, and they took the whole stack. And I had two stacks. And the speakers, clip speakers, I had some nice speakers from Denmark. Sound Labs. Is that what it was? I forget what they are. You guys tell me. But there's some really nice, I think they're Dynaco speakers. Is that what they were? Shoot, I can't remember now. It's kind of selective amnesia because, yeah, it was tough. I paid probably storage on that for several years after that, just because I couldn't bring myself to go clear out my storage. I just didn't want to look at it. But when I finally went back, actually I didn't go back, I'm lying to you. Paid my daughter and some of her friends to clear out the storage and bring stuff to the house because I didn't want to see the big hole that was missing. Had a whole bunch of test equipment that's over here. Got to get rid of a lot of that stuff. A lot of this stuff was in there. And, but I was kind of blown away. When they brought the stuff to the house, a couple Ampzillas came. And guess what else? I think I have 3 MC30s, Macintosh 30 watt amplifiers. So, but the storage also was a terrible storage. I didn't know that. It leaked water and dust. Anyway, okay, long story about my woes, but that's why this thing's not in pristine shape. I'll bend it over so you can kind of look at it. You know what? I'm going to bring the camera. I'm going to show you. I've got it hooked up here, and the power cord's in nasty shape too. I don't know what it is. I got to get some alcohol and clean all this stuff off. It could be rodent dirt and urine mix. I don't know. It could be, who knows what it is. It's nasty. The front of it looks pretty good. It's kind of scratched a little bit. But anyway, I've got it hooked up to my AC power source, okay? And what I was going to do is bring it up nice and slow since it hasn't been powered for 25 plus years probably. So yeah, yeah, I've had it for a while, and yeah, I've got 2 of these. Anyway, the other one, there's some things got damaged on it, so I don't know if the kids, when they brought it over, I don't know how, maybe when the theft happened, maybe they saw these and maybe they filled up their vehicle and they just didn't have room for anything more. I don't know. But anyways, I had an SP9, if you guys know what that is, a 2 preamp. I really missed that thing. But okay guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the voltage nice and slow on this, okay? And I'm going to do it a few times, and I'm going to watch the current on this thing and make sure. Basically what I'm going to do is going to recondition the big bulk capacitors that are in here. Now, the way this thing's designed, when I show you this thing here is basically a big hole. It's a heatsink right in the middle. It's kind of cool design. There's some fans there, and they actually run really quiet. Now, this thing was designed by James Bajorno, I think his name, probably butchering his name, but I think it was in 1974. So this guy worked for Dynaco, designed some of their amps that had a lot of notoriety, and then he worked for SAE, same thing. And then I think he designed the Citation. What was that amplifier? Citation 20 or something like that. Anyway, he designed some amplifiers that were noted back in the day. They were like, amps that people wanted. So he and some other engineers, from what I understand, wanted to start up their own company. They wanted to design amplifiers that were like the best thing out there. And so this was the result. This was the first one. This is the original Ampzilla. It was kind of a no holds barred kind of thing. They designed it. It's completely or fully complementary, if you understand what that means. So that's supposed to get rid of all even harmonics. It's supposed to, at the time, it was state of the art. It was the first, from what I understand, is the first time a fully complementary amplifier was designed. And they cost more money because you have to put more parts in the design. And so since then, another thing what I've read is that pretty much many of the complementary amps, at least after that, the designs were sprouted from this design. So this guy who designed this, he was one of those people. He was a genius amplifier designers from what I've read. So this guy here is super well respected in the audio community. And this is back, like I say, in 1974, I think is when this thing came out. There's a few generations of this thing. And then the company, I'm not sure what happened. It's probably the Japanese amplifiers, people wanting 0.0000000% distortion. I mean, it's insane how the audio world kind of went. But yeah, the audiophile people, they just, kind of go nuts sometimes. But anyway, so I think it was in the early 1980s or 1980 that the company went out of business. And then he moved on and went, and who knows, maybe there's some internal issues too, because he went on to open up, or I think he started a company called Sumo Amplifiers, if you know who they are. So the guy was well respected and as an audio amplifier guy. So that's what this is. Okay, long and short of it. Long-winded thing explaining where this amplifier came. Sorry about that. But 2 big VU meters, off and on, some fuses here, and GAS. Oh yeah, I didn't even say that. Great American Sound Company, I think is what that stood for. So then there's an LED that turns on. This amplifier impressed a lot of my friends back in the day. So yeah. Anyway, you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and recondition the cap, see if it comes up. The other one, I tried to do this too. I was kind of in a rush one night. I was going to take it to a friend's house and play it. And it popped some fuses in that. And then I took out the fuse. And one of the fuse holders was kind of broken. So I need to replace those. And I can't remember what else. So I just pushed these aside. So even after I got them, I was so excited. I thought, okay, I got to find time where I can go through these and clean them up really good. I mean, they did look great before I put them in storage. It's just got dirt and stuff on it now and a few little scratches, but they're pretty much pristine shape. If I could show you the bottoms and that. But yeah, other than being dirty and like some spider webs in here, the thing's in great shape, I hope. So let's go ahead and see if I can recharge the caps and see if they come up without popping a fuse. Because, like I said, the other one blew a fuse. I'm not sure why, but I was afraid to, retry it. So I just threw this up on the bench, and I thought, you know what? I was just kind of excited for my own personal reasons. I was going to do another video, and then I thought, may as well do a video on this and show you guys an Ampzilla amplifier. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have heard anything about these or what you've heard. and all that kind of stuff, okay? Oh, by the way, it is a Class A up to, I forget, up to like 40 watts or 50 watts. So pretty reasonable listening levels for most of us. And then after that goes to Class AB, and it goes up to like 200 watts into 8 ohms, and I think it's 360 watts or something like that into 4 ohms, and it even goes down to 2 ohms. So anyway, so really beefy amplifier, is really known to sound great, especially in the low ends, but really it's just known to be a really great amplifier. As a matter of fact, people that were in tubes back then, that, you know, they loved their tube amplifiers, even that community actually said, you know, for solid state amplifiers, this guy was a beast, and was really giving their tube amplifiers a little competition. So it's supposed to be able to drive any kind of speaker, all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to play really well with pretty much any kind of load. So testing this is going to be a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, when I test all these other Class D amplifiers and all these other amps, maybe this will become my new reference. You know, I can compare it to my Class A that I designed, or that I kind of partially designed, but I assembled it and changed it, the design, modified it, I guess. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and bring the camera over and take a close look at this. All right, guys, so there's the amplifier, okay? That's kind of what it looks like up front. You got the fuses for channel A, channel B, off, on switch, and the GAS with the LED. So pretty cool, big VU meters. All right, let me throw it up on its side. And actually spin it around here. So for the bottom here, you can see where the transformer mounts. That's where the transformer is. These, it looks like kind of rubber washers, probably to keep the vibration down, I'm assuming. As we scroll up, you can see the big old fan here. This is a quiet fan, by the way. And then we have, of course, the big hard plastic feet. So, yeah. And then here, let me zoom in on this feature. All right, guys. So here, guys, this helps the meters up front. So you got a -3 dB. It makes it really sensitive. -20, -10, or 0. Okay. So that's kind of a neat feature they put there too. All right, and so here's the back of it. The Great American Sound Company, West Hollywood, California. Channel A input, channel B input. Okay, it's made for 120 volts AC, 1100 watts max. So you can see your channel A speaker outputs here, channel B speaker outputs here. And look at the size of that power cord. Good sized power cord coming off that thing. It's pretty dirty, got to clean it up. And your fuse. And yeah, it's got a serial number. So, all pretty cool stuff. All right, and here is the back, or the top side. All pretty dirty. You can see it needs to be cleaned. So here's the heat sink, and the fan down below just, you know, blows there across these fins. Over on this side, you got some vents for the transformer, so heat's going to rise up out of that. But you can see how dirty and nasty this is. I'm going to have to clean this up, just kind of showing you what it looks like before it gets all cleaned up. All right, guys, so here's my plan. You can see the AC power supply up here. I've got the digits selected over there, so I can dial it up nice and slow. And so I've got, yep, it's turned on, okay? And I'm going to watch the current here, and we're going to watch the meters come up, and then make sure this is in on position, okay? So, okay, 10 volts. It's only 82 milliamps, so no short. That's a great sign. 20, 152 milliamps. Okay, I'm going to go up to 50 volts. We're going to let it sit there for a minute, just see if it's stable. Okay, it's about a half an amp, 17.8 watts. I think it's supposed to idle above 50 watts. Okay, 60, 70. I want to let it sit for just a minute, let those caps. Now, the good thing is I don't see the current changing a lot here. It's about 0.7 amps. So that's a good sign as far as the caps go, I think. So 80. It's just good that when you have these big aluminum electrolytics sitting around for a long time, that you don't just hit them with power. That you kind of let them, almost like a battery. They just kind of charge up and discharge them, charge them up. Oh wow, look at this, the view meters. Okay, we're at 90 volts. I'm starting to see a little bit of light there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I just want to drain it down kind of quick. Okay, that happened. Now I'm going to drop the voltage again down to about 20 volts. And, well, yeah, about 20. And then I'll turn it on quick. Get a little inrush there. And they charged up pretty quick, so that's, I think this is looking good. 30, 40 volts. Okay, 60, just about 0.59 amps. Okay, 80 volts, we have about 0.77 amps. Okay, 90. Okay, 100 volts, I'm getting about 62 watts. I was thinking it was around 40 or 50 watts or something like that, 40 or 50. I think it's supposed to be 40 watts Class A, so, yeah, so I guess it's going to go up a little bit higher. Okay, 110, so we got about 73 watts. It's almost an amp, 0.99 amps. And the meters look good, nothing's happening with them. I'm just going to hit the switches for fun underneath. Okay. Alright, so 120 volts. Okay, 86 watts. So looks like 86 watts, right about 1 amp. I mean 1.1 amps almost. That I don't think was by accident. I think that was probably where it was set up. Seems just too coincidental that, you know, and back then 117 or 115 was more nominal. So that would have been probably right at 1 amp. I'm going to set it at 115 to see what happens. 115 is just barely over an amp. So, man, that just seems too coincidental. 78 watts, 78.4 watts. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take it down again. And then I just want to bring it up again. And maybe I'm going to go to 55 volts just for fun, turn it off, let it discharge, then turn it on. Now this guy's only a 300 VA, so it's plenty for this, but that inrush could trip it because I can set that up and I don't remember where it's set right now. So, okay, let's go up a little bit higher again. I think that's a multimeter screaming at me. Okay, 115 volts again. I'm going to go over here and just make it 120. Our voltage in the US today is 120, so I just want to take it up there and, oh, did I turn it off? Oh, I might have hit the current limit. I thought it was one of the meters shutting off on me. But yeah, I see there's no current, so that might have been an inrush thing, I'm not sure. Let's see what happens if it comes up. Yeah, this guy, I like it because it's sensitive. It has a current limit, but then it has kind of an inrush limit. I feel the fan, man, it's just so quiet. With all my other fans on the bench, I can't even hear it. It's so quiet. It has this nice soft air coming out of here, nice even. It's not pushing real hard or anything. I mean, I can hear it when I get, you know, 120 volts. I can hear it, but it is very quiet. Wow, that looks good. I'm happy. Came up, everything looks good. Now I'm gonna have to put a signal through it and see if the output transistors, if it's working right. Okay, we're at 84.5 watts, so that seems to be working. Just gonna turn it off, let it discharge quickly. Just trying to recondition the capacitors. I'll probably let it sit here, powered on for a little bit. Okay, little inrush there. I kind of turn up kind of fast and it's fine. Just over an amp at 120 volts, 1.088, so 84.8 watts basically. Wow, pretty happy with this. Alright, you know what, I think I'm going to let it sit there for a while and let those capacitors just kind of hold a charge for a while. Alright guys, so I'm going to let this sit here and run for a little while. I'll probably take it up and down a few more times, and yeah, I think I'll just try to let this thing warm back up, get the capacitors kind of charged before I really exercise it. So yeah, come back. We'll do another video where I put a signal through, make sure both channels work, and that we can drive some power and warm it up a little bit. But you know what? Maybe what I should do before I do that is just pop the ends off, show you what's inside, at the same time clean it up a little bit and look inside, make sure everything inside looks okay. So maybe we should do that before I get too carried away. So maybe I will do that next video. What do you guys think? Just go for it? Sometimes I'm tempted. I mean, you know, if it wasn't so dirty on top, if it looked as good as it did when I put it in storage, I'd be more tempted to do that. But I'm just kind of worried that maybe something dripped inside. You know, it's got some contamination, things like that. Hey, 2 big thumbs up to my patrons, my members of my channel, and Danny, thank you. Being a team member, that's awesome. Hey guys, oh, and gosh, I had a super thank you after last video. Really appreciate that. Those design videos, they just don't get very many views, but I think they're important for the people who want to learn how to design, and they'll be out there forever, right? And so as people want to learn how to design, they can, and I broke them up into a bunch of different kind of videos, but I'm going to do one more. Well, I've got another video I'm going to put out real quick soon about how to select your diodes. Then I'm going to do another video just going through the whole design thing, but kind of at a quicker pace now that I've got all these background videos out there, if that makes sense. Okay? All right, guys. Man, I like these. I like that orange glow and the size of those meters. They're really cool. I remember watching, just kind of watching the music when I used to listen to this, and it's kind of mesmerizing. Oh, and a free way to support the channel is just give it a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe. That's great. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.